Good day, I'm Tamara McHale and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, March 8. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has promised to lead a frugal and efficient government while building public trust. He made the commitment on Tuesday at the swearing-in ceremony for the new ministers of government. Andrea Chisholm has more in this report.
As he begins his new term in office, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has appointed 18 cabinet-level ministers to oversee 14 ministries. They were sworn into office by Governor-General Sir Patrick Allen in a ceremony at King's House. During his address, Prime Minister Holness said the structure of the cabinet was an important signal to the country, particularly investors and entrepreneurs, about his administration's commitment to fiscal prudence.
For us to accomplish this, it requires a mature political outlook and the building of public trust. Trust that as a government, we will be frugal with the public's affairs. And that this takes precedence over our own personal desire for status.
The Prime Minister also reiterated his intent to prioritize economic growth, job creation and debt reduction. As part of that, agriculture has been paired with industry and commerce to accelerate and intensify their integration. And a ministry responsible for economic growth and job creation has been established within the Office of the Prime Minister.
The benefit of the ministry, aside from investment and growth promotion activities, will be the central coordination and logistical planning of the growth agenda. But more importantly, the political imprimatur of the Office of the Prime Minister on getting our projects approved and getting the growth agenda advanced, accelerated, and implemented.
As part of reducing public debt, Prime Minister Holness said government would build a stronger local government structure and improve its efficiency and business processes. He has meanwhile charged the cabinet ministers with ensuring the highest level of integrity in conducting their jobs, warning that corruption would not be tolerated.
While ministers are not required to be subject specialists, they are expected to display very quickly a grasp of the subject area, articulate solutions, lead and inspire confidence. I am confident that the persons chosen will do all these things and more.
Visit jis.gov.jm for a full list of the new cabinet. For JIS News, I'm Andrea Chisholm.
In the meantime, the new cabinet ministers have signaled their intention to get working right away. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says based on his assessment, the threat of two viruses should be at the top of his ministry's agenda.
The threat of ZIKV and H1N1, to my mind, should occupy the minds of all of us to help Jamaicans to know what they need to do to prevent it, to play our part as a government through the healthcare system, to whether through vaccination or otherwise to better protect ourselves or to treat if people are infected.
Shoring up support for national security will be the focus for Minister of State in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Pernell Charles Jr.
We intend to create the kind of system that is sustainable and effective. It is going to require for us to reach across and to collaborate and to do things in a different way. We're going to bring in the kind of technology and systems and innovation that will help and empower our security forces.
Transport Minister Mike Henry says his immediate plan is to work on the multimodal integrated plan.
My immediate plan is to ensure we begin to dredge the port as urgently as possible, connect the railway in terms of the movement of goods and services, and also to look at the whole transport structure which needs to be improved on overall.
And Finance and Planning State Minister Favour Williams has pledged to continue Jamaica's good relationship with the International Monetary Fund and other international development partners.
But also to use the Ministry of Finance to help to support the growth agenda in whatever way, shape or form that is possible.
In other news, the International Monetary Fund IMF has confirmed that it will conduct the 11th and 12th quarterly review of Jamaica's performance under the Extended Fund Facility in May. In a release, the IMF says the two reviews were combined to give the government time to form the new administration following the general elections. The statement follows a March 4 meeting between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and an IMF delegation. The IMF agreed to continue close and open dialogue on the design of the policies needed to remove obstacles to strong and sustained economic growth. Testing for the Zika virus has started at the upgraded University of the West Indies Virology Lab. This means the country no longer has to send samples overseas for confirmation, which sometimes took up to 2 days for results. The UWI Virology Lab now produces results in 3 hours, following a $10 million upgrade in equipment and staffing. And finally, as the world celebrates International Women's Day, countries are being called on to take action to protect the rights of women and girls and to rectify long-standing gender inequality. Executive Director of the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, Dr. Babatunde Osotimihin, says gender equality and equal protection of human rights are important to achieving internationally agreed upon social and economic objectives. The Executive Director says the UNFPA will continue to push until all women and girls are on an equal footing with men and have the power and the means to exercise their basic human rights. Meanwhile, Minister responsible for gender, Olivia Grange, says she will be striving for gender parity on the island.
One of my first priorities is to ensure that we present a proper gender policy and a balance, rather than just thinking of just the issues of women, although those are important, very important.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.